There is a moment in sport that comes around once in a generation. Not a match, not a trophy, not a record. A moment where you realize, while it is still happening, that you are watching the end of something that will never exist again. This summer, that moment arrived.
One fire! One game!
And for anyone who has followed football over the last 20 years, this tournament carries a weight that no preview, no prediction, and no bracket can fully capture. Because this is the last time. The last time Lionel Messi plays at a World Cup. The last time Cristiano Ronaldo plays at a World Cup. The last time Luka Modric plays at a World Cup. The last time Neymar, in all likelihood, plays at a World Cup. The generation that defined football for 20 years is taking its final bow, simultaneously, on the same stage, in the same tournament. That has never happened before in the history of the game. And it will never happen again. Let's rewind a little back to 2006. A 21-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo played his first World Cup for Portugal in Germany. That same summer, a 19-year-old Lionel Messi made his World Cup debut for Argentina. Neither won, but both announced themselves as something the game had not seen before. What followed was 20 years of the most sustained excellence in the history of football. Two players, different in almost every way, in style, in personality, in the countries that claim them, in the clubs that built them, and yet moving in perfect parallel across the same era, pushing each other to heights that made everyone else look ordinary. Between them, they have won 12 Ballon d'Or awards. They have scored over 1,000 combined career goals. They have won league titles across 4 different countries. They have been the best player at club level and the best player at international level simultaneously for 2 decades. Every generation of football fans gets one debate, one question that never fully resolves. Pelé or Maradona? Di Stefano or Puskas? For 20 years, the debate has been Messi or Ronaldo. And the reason it never resolved is because both answers were correct. When the 2026 tournament opens, Lionel Messi will be 38 years old. Cristiano Ronaldo will have turned 41. The average professional footballer retires at 35. Most elite players are past their peak by 32. These two men are not operating at average. They never have. But even they cannot hold back time indefinitely. And both have confirmed it publicly. When Ronaldo was asked whether 2026 would be his last World Cup, his answer was simple: definitely yes. Messi has said the same. The defending world champion, the man who finally lifted the trophy he had spent his entire career chasing in Qatar 2022, is coming to North America for one last time. When they each play a single minute of football at this World Cup, they will together hold the record for most World Cup appearances ever, 6 each. Messi already holds the record for most World Cup matches played and most minutes at the tournament. Ronaldo holds the record for most international appearances in men's football, 226, and the most international goals, 143. These are not just statistics, they are the architecture of 20 years. Lionel Messi arrives in North America as the world champion. That sentence still carries weight because of what preceded it. For most of his career, the World Cup was the wound that would not close. 6 Ballon d'Or awards, 4 Champions Leagues, everything, except the one trophy that the game decides by nations rather than individuals. In 2014, he reached the final and lost. In 2021, he finally won a major international trophy with Argentina, the Copa America. And then in Qatar, 2022, in what many considered his final World Cup, he delivered the most complete tournament performance of any player in a generation. Goal after goal, assist after assist. The final against France, that many are already calling the greatest match ever played. And the trophy. Finally, the trophy. He comes to 2026 not chasing anything. He comes to defend, to close the circle, to play one more time on the biggest stage simply because he still can, and because the love of the game that drove him to leave Rosario as a 13-year-old has not yet run out. Cristiano Ronaldo arrives in North America with one chapter still unwritten. He has won everything at club level. Champions Leagues with 3 different clubs, league titles in England, Spain and Italy, the European Championship with Portugal in 2016, over 900 career goals, the most international appearances and the most international goals in the history of men's football. But the World Cup has always been different. His best finish was a semi-final in 2006. In 5 appearances he has scored 8 goals, but none in the knockout rounds. The biggest stage, when the stakes are highest, has been the one place where his numbers do not tell the full story. He is 41 years old. This is his 6th World Cup, his last, and the only major trophy in football that has never been his is still available, still possible, still waiting. If Portugal were to win this tournament, Ronaldo would become the oldest player in history to lift the World Cup. At 41 years old, in his 6th tournament, in his final act. That is not just a football story. That is one of the most compelling human stories in sport. Every era in football ends the same way. Not with a final whistle, not with a retirement announcement, but with a moment, a single match, a single image, where you see the old king standing on the same pitch as the one who will replace him. And you understand, in that moment, that the transfer of power has already happened. You just hadn't been told yet. Kylian Mbappe is 27, already one of the most valuable and dominant forces in football history. The man France built their 2018 World Cup win around when he was still a teenager. Fast enough to make defenders look stationary, he has been waiting for an era to call his own. This is where he stops being the heir and becomes the name everyone else chases. Erling Haaland, Vinicius Jr., Jude Bellingham. A generation of extraordinary talent that has been building quietly, developing while Messi and Ronaldo occupied every headline, every award, every conversation about who is the best in the world. They are not waiting anymore. And the extraordinary thing about this specific tournament, the thing that will make it unlike any World Cup that came before, is that you do not have to choose between watching the end and watching the beginning. They are happening simultaneously, on the same pitches, in the same bracket, potentially in the same matches. The last time 2 icons of Messi and Ronaldo's stature played their final tournament at the same moment as a new generation announced itself was never. It has never happened before. Pelé's last World Cup was in 1974. Maradona was 13. Maradona retired years before Ronaldo even appeared on a senior international pitch. This summer is the only time in football history when the conversation changes hands in real time, in front of 6 billion people watching simultaneously. On the biggest stage the sport has ever assembled. That is what is at stake when the whistle blows on June 11th. Not just results, not just goals, a transfer of power, a changing of the guard, a moment that every person watching will remember for the rest of their lives. And the stage for all of this could not be more fitting. The Estadio Azteca in Mexico City will host matches at its 3rd different World Cup, 1970, 1986, and 2026. The same grass where Pelé lifted the original trophy and Maradona scored the hand of God now hosts the final chapter of Messi and Ronaldo's story. That continuity is not accidental. It is the game honoring its own history. And there is one more possibility that has been barely spoken about, but that every football fan is quietly carrying. Argentina and Portugal are in different groups. But if both teams advance as expected, a quarter-final or semi-final between Messi and Ronaldo is realistic. In 20 years of parallel careers, they have never faced each other at a World Cup. Not once. This is the last chance, the final possible chapter of the greatest rivalry football has ever produced. Football will continue after this summer. It will be brilliant. The players arriving to take over are extraordinary. The game is in good hands, but something ends in July 2026 that cannot be replaced. Not because what comes next is lesser, but because what we are watching now was singular. Two players who arrived at the same moment, defined the same era, and built a rivalry so complete that for 20 years the rest of the world was essentially competing for third place. Messi, Ronaldo, Modric, Neymar. A generation of footballers whose careers have stretched across tactical eras, coaching cycles, and rule changes, who are all still here, all still playing, all taking one final stage together before the curtain comes down. Watch every minute of this tournament, not just for the results, not just for the goals. Watch it because you will spend the rest of your life telling people you saw it. Drop a comment. Are you a Messi fan or a Ronaldo fan? And whoever you support, tell me honestly. Do you think he lifts the trophy in July? Subscribe for more on this World Cup. The rule changes that will shock you, how AI is changing the game at this tournament, and every major story as it develops. The World Cup starts June 11th. We will be here for all of it.